Hi, I'm Alicia, and I make videos about gardening and taking on projects around my home. Join me today as I show you how I make my yard look prettier by pulling out the foxtail grass, which is also classified as a weed and can actually be harmful to your pets. With the heat of summer keeping me outside more, really, it keeps me outside more, just for fun things, like swimming, and I even like to walk in the heat. I've been neglecting work around my yard, like pulling weeds and staying on top of tidying up the yard in general. When I came across this foxtail grass, which at first glance I thought was kind of cute and folksy, I remembered how it is quite invasive to the rest of the garden and even harmful to your pets. So like your dogs and cats that just, even if you have livestock, can be harmful to them. So the foxtail seeds are actually pretty sharp, and they can get embedded in your pet's skin or eyes, ears, or even their nose. And according to WebMD, once this happens, it can cause severe pain, deep infections, and even internal organ damage. This was enough to prompt me to take immediate action. That foxtail grass was going down. Plus, although it is a grass, it's simultaneously classified as a weed for its invasive nature. So come along with me on this sweaty July morning, as I wasn't even prepared with a mic to record this. Okay, here's something that I've been putting off. Oh boy. So this grass that was just tiny little grass has now grown into this. It looks pretty, but it's pretty invasive too. So I'm going to attempt to get rid of all this today without letting these seed heads fall, because I don't want it to grow more grass like this next season. So this looks pretty bad. But the good news is my sunflowers are doing pretty well. At least the ones that aren't or haven't been eaten by the deer. The deer have been pretty brutal this year. This one got some of its leaves chomped off. Hopefully they won't eat this. Ooh, I didn't realize I had more back here. So I'm gonna clean up this area today. I need to weed. There's so much I need to do. I kind of like wild and free, but this is probably too wild. I have my raspberry bushes beyond there, and more raspberry bushes and blackberry bushes, which none of them really produce much fruit this year. I think I over pruned them earlier this spring. So here are my raspberry bushes. I had to trim back a bunch because they were just dying off, and it's just been so dry. I try watering them. My blackberry bushes look like they're thriving, but I don't think they are. Maybe next year. They grow on the second year's growth, and I trimmed or pruned these back way too hard, I guess. But these, oh my goodness, produce so many. So many. And this is what I have to deal with. I have to, this is, kind of a lot. Then I need to mow today. Then this is a new blackberry plant that just grew up in the middle of the yard here. And I just let it grow. The roots, obviously are underground and they just spread. And I thought, you know what, maybe I'll just let it grow where it can grow well. So it's spreading outside of this thicket of brambles here. On the positive, it's a pretty sunrise. And another thing, I planted these marigolds because I was told that they are deer resistant. They are not. The deer just eat them. Cheeky little guys. So yeah, they just chomp down whatever they want, I guess. Ooh, and here's my mint that I need to pot up in a pot because this is just taking over. And it's growing under this border I made with these logs. So that's a project for another day. I love this mint, but man, does it ever spread and take over. So yeah, that'll be fun. Okay. I've got my gloves, got my trash can with a bag, because you don't want to compost these, because these will just end up spreading the seeds around where I don't want them. So here goes, and then a tool just in case I need it. I wonder if I can just pull this out of the ground. Yes, I can. It's been really dry. Ooh. So, what I know about pulling weeds is it's best if the ground is wet. But it seems to be coming up all right. So I'm not going to film like this whole thing, but I'm going to film the final thing. I actually came out here just to weed eat and mow today, and then it turned into this. I actually thought this looked kind of cute, but then I researched it a little bit more, and I found out that it's just very invasive and will take over everything. It's coming up kind of easily. So this is going to be a job. This is what I'm going to do this morning. So, show you the final product-ish, or whenever I feel like finishing it. There's so much to do. I pulled as much of the foxtail grass that I could around the important bits, like these flowers that I planted earlier from seed. I've got another sunflower right there. I've got Bermuda grass everywhere, and it is really taking over. So please tell me what you do to take care of Bermuda grass, or do you just live with it? This is the front of our house, front yard, so I don't want it to look terrible. So I decided to just weed eat the rest of this. The rest of this grass is some other kind of grass, which I think is this one. And look at these seeds. They're just going to spread. So I think grass in the front bed here in the front yard is just going to be a part of life. But please let me know what you do because I need help. At one point I had laid down a bunch of cardboard, and it was a big project. This entire bed at one point was nothing. I had cardboard laid down to kill the grass, the Bermuda grass that we have in our yard, and killed the grass. And then eventually I inherited some, these are peonies, which are beautiful in the spring, and then they stay kind of green throughout the rest of the summer. I just kind of wanted this to be a wild, like, cottage garden feel. And then I transplanted some other things like these lilies, daylilies, which I probably need to do something with because I never water in this front bed. Plus, it's right next to this lavender, which, look at this grass. So this is how I garden. I neglect stuff, I guess. And I try to do things. So this is definitely going to be a project for going forward. So, one, comment if you can help me out with the Bermuda grass situation. Like, what do I do with it when it is all just taking over different plants? And especially, like, this is honeysuckle, and also Carolina, I think it's called Carolina jasmine is mixed in here, which I love in the spring. And the grass is just, taking over. I don't really like to use weed killer or grass killer because I have fruit plants here, the raspberries and the blackberries, that are just beyond here. And I don't want any chemicals to seep into things that we're gonna eat, like berries. Hopefully the berries will do better next year. So this is what I did this morning. And I also mowed, so I'm feeling pretty good. So the rest of the yard is looking decent now. I've got my random blackberry bush growing in the middle of the yard there. Oh well. I can't wait till this guy starts blossoming any time now. So, alright, job done. I'm gonna go take a nap.